This is Nightline and I am Zahir. Kelvin on Abdullah. The top stories. Social media online messaging platforms without license by January 2025 to face fines, jail. And government to hold Palestinian solidarity rally on Sunday. The regulatory framework for social media and online messaging platforms to ensure a safe online environment was gazetted on Thursday, requiring these service providers with at least 8 million Malaysian users to apply for a license by January next year. Those that fail to comply once the framework comes into effect on January 1st may face penalties, including fines and imprisonment. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, said that service providers will have until December 31st to apply for an Application Service Provider Class or ASPC license. Operating without a license after the grace period is an offence, and appropriate legal action can be taken under the Communications and Multimedia Act. Penalties under Section 126 of the Act include a fine of up to 500,000 ringgit, a maximum of 5 years imprisonment or both, as well as daily fines of 1,000 ringgit for each day or part of a day the offence continues. Service providers must form a locally incorporated entity before applying for a license. A prerequisite to apply for the license is that the service provider must first establish a locally incorporated entity. However, the Communications Minister reserves the discretion to allow foreign companies to register on a case-by-case basis. Other proposed requirements include having robust measures on user data protection, age assurance to restrict users under 13 years old from accessing the platforms of the said service providers, addressing online harm and enhancing content moderation. MCMC also said it would conduct public consultations with stakeholders and the service providers to develop the guidelines. Meanwhile, Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil clarified that the licensing requirements under the new regulatory framework for social media and online messaging platforms apply only to service providers, not to users and influencers.
Ada beberapa pihak yang menyatakan pandangan yang sebenarnya jauh lari daripada realiti proses pelesinan tersebut. Saya ingin jelaskan bahawa pelesinan ini hanya terpakai kepada platform-platform media sosial, bukan kepada pengguna ataupun pempengaruh ataupun influencer. Ya, individu tidak perlu untuk mendapatkan lesen. Ia hanya terpakai kepada platform tersebut, perkhidmatan tersebut.
Fahmi, who is also the Unity government spokesperson, said that the purpose of licensing is not to restrict freedom of speech, but is based on 3 factors, namely online fraud, cyberbullying and sexual crimes against children. He added that the MCMC has also published a frequently asked questions FAQ section on its website to explain the new regulatory framework in more detail. Malaysians have been urged to attend the Palestinian Solidarity Gathering at the Axiata Arena Stadium in Bukit Jalil starting at 6:30 p.m. this Sunday. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the rally is intended to send a strong and clear signal from Malaysia condemning the murder of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh and expressing continued support for Palestine.
Kita dah bincang dengan Kabinet, kita dah buat kenyataan yang tegas, kita akan ada perhimpunan hari Ahad dan saya ingat cukup menyampaikan mesej.
Anwar said this to reporters at the Yasin recital, Tahlil and Doa Selamat event in conjunction with the Warriors' Day 2024 celebration at the National Mosque on Thursday. On Wednesday, Putrajaya said that Malaysia strongly condemned the assassination of Haniyeh and called for an immediate and thorough investigation into the murder so that those responsible can be brought to justice. Anwar had stated that the murder of the Hamas political bureau chief in an Israeli airstrike in Tehran, Iran, was designed to derail ongoing talks aimed at ending the carnage in Gaza that has claimed over 40,000 lives. Meanwhile, members of the Dewan Negara observed a 1-minute silence early on Thursday to honour Ismail Haniyeh's passing. Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan then read his statement for the motion of solidarity with the Palestinian people at the Senate seating.
Pembebasan sebuah tanah air dan pencarian keadilan untuk negara dan rakyat Palestin adalah perjuangan yang sah dan mulia. Ia mesti disokong dalam segenap lapisan masyarakat.
He also highlighted that Ismail Haniyeh's murder has hampered efforts for a ceasefire in Gaza and to ensure lasting peace in Palestine. This also clearly shows the real goal of the Israeli regime, which is to continue its agenda of committing genocide, atrocities and violence against the Palestinian people. The motion was then debated by 4 senators. Meanwhile, Haniyeh was found to have been assassinated by an explosive device covertly smuggled into the Tehran guest house where he was staying. According to 5 Middle Eastern officials, the bomb had been hidden approximately 2 months ago in the guest house run and protected by the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. He said the bomb was detonated remotely once it was confirmed that Haniyeh was inside his room at the guest house, simultaneously killing his bodyguard. Israel has not publicly acknowledged responsibility for the killing, but it was reported that Israeli intelligence officials briefed the United States and other Western governments on the details of the operation in the immediate aftermath. Meanwhile, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, led funeral prayers at a memorial event for Haniyeh in Tehran. Following the prayers, massive crowds accompanied the body of Haniyeh and his bodyguard in a funeral procession through Tehran towards Azadi Square. Haniyeh's body was expected to be flown to Doha for burial on Friday.
Uncovering Malaysia's dynamic approach to transform its industrial sector, breakthrough policy reforms and cutting-edge digital innovations. And how will these strategies propel the nation to new heights of global competitiveness and sustainable growth? Money Matters with Chairman of Khazanah Research Institute, Dr. Nung Sari Ahmad Radi, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
The government has agreed to have the police reopen the investigation into the death of Teo Beng Hok. Announcing this on Thursday, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim assured that the new probe would be conducted transparently and fairly without interference. In a post on his Facebook account, Anwar stated that the investigation will take into account the Court of Appeal's findings on September 5, 2014. He said that the decision was made after he had heard the grievances and requests from the family and deeply understood their prolonged struggle to seek justice for the deceased. Early on Thursday, Anwar and Digital Minister Gobind Singh Deo met with Teo's family members at Sri Padana in Putrajaya. Teo's family had proposed reopening the investigation with the assistance of international crime experts. In 2009, Beng Hok, an aide to the then Selangor Executive Council member Yen Yong Hianwa, was found dead on the 5th floor of Plaza Masalam in Shah Alam hours after he had arrived for questioning on the 14th floor, which housed the Selangor Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) headquarters. A coroner's inquest in 2011 delivered an open verdict, and his family subsequently filed an appeal against the findings. 3 years later, the Court of Appeal set aside the open verdict and ruled that Beng Hok's death was caused by multiple injuries as a result of unlawful acts by unknown persons. In January last year, Teo's parents filed for a judicial review to compel the police to complete investigations into his death. The Plantation and Commodities Ministry will embark on a nationwide tour to ensure that every state complies with international agri-commodity standards, including the European Union Deforestation Regulation (EUDR). Its Minister, Datuk Seri Johari Abdul Ghani, highlighted that non-compliance could affect the marketability of local agri-commodity products at the international level.
Bukan saja ESCO ini kena faham, bermakna agensi-agensi negeri di bawah sana tu dan juga pemain industri di setiap negeri ini pun juga kena faham. Jadi kita nak kena pergi roadshow lah, pergi jumpa kat dia orang tu dan explain. A very simple layman supaya dia faham impact dan implikasi dia setiap negeri ini. Dia akan melihat bahawa overall comply tak Malaysia ni. Walaupun dari segi Johor comply ataupun Perak comply ataupun Terengganu comply, tetapi kalau ada negeri-negeri yang tak comply, problem.
Johari told reporters after a meeting with State Agriculture Executive Councillors at a hotel in Putrajaya on Thursday. He added that the move will benefit Malaysia's economy by helping to improve the quality of local products in the future. In 2023, the agri-commodity sector contributed 5.3% or 83 million ringgit to Malaysia's economy. 17-year-old charged with murder as Southport protests rage. News from the foreign front when we return.
Menarik sepanjang minggu.
Kes orang hilang semakin membimbangkan. Apakah langkah perlu kita lakukan?
Adakah HIV masih menjadi ancaman kepada masyarakat?
Buli cyber, apakah kesannya terhadap mangsa?
Minyak masih terpakai, inisiatif yang penting untuk menjaga ekosistem.
Soal wang membincangkan kos pengurusan jenazah.
MHI setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat 9.30 pagi eksklusif di TV3.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Wanita hari ini.
Ira, perasan tak kita ni selalu suka jaga dan puaskan hati orang lain?
Betul juga tu, apa kata kita sayangi dan jadi diri sendiri.
Terung ada macam-macam jenis tau.
Jom kita masak terung.
Sekarang ni ada banyak kejadian yang tidak diingini berlaku.
Ayuh kita persiapkan diri untuk elak tragedi.
Campur tangan orang lain boleh rosakkan hubungan.
Pasti ada cara untuk elakkannya.
Dalam rumah tangga, kenalah sama-sama memberi dan menerima.
Barulah rumah tangga bahagia.
Semuanya di WHI TV3
dan stream sekarang ditonton. Wanita hari ini.
Pencalonan baru Music Music 39 minggu ini.
Aku makan orang sesiapa buka hatiku.
Siapakah yang
yang bakal menjuarai carta Top 20 Music 39 minggu ini? Semuanya dalam Music 39 Ahad ini jam 12.20 tengah hari di TV3 dan stream secara langsung di aplikasi Tonton.
Welcome back. Prosecutors in the United Kingdom on Thursday have charged a 17-year-old with murder and attempted murder over a knife attack that left 3 girls dead in the town of Southport. Merseyside police said the teenager faces 3 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder in the attack at the dance and yoga class. After his initial hearing at Liverpool Magistrates Court, he was brought before Liverpool Crown Court. There, the Honorary Recorder of Liverpool, Judge Andrew Menery, KC, decided not to extend reporting restrictions, allowing the minor's identity to be revealed. The charges come as disorder broke out on Wednesday evening in parts of England, with more than 100 people arrested in central London, alongside disturbances in Hartlepool, Manchester and Aldershot. U.S. prosecutors on Wednesday said the man accused of plotting the 9/11 attacks and 2 of his accomplices have agreed to plead guilty in exchange for a life sentence. Defendants Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Walid bin Atash and Mustafa al-Hawsawi reached the deal in talks with prosecutors across 27 months at Guantanamo. Word of the deal emerged in a letter from prosecutors to the family members. The letter described that in exchange for the removal of the death penalty, the 3 accused have agreed to plead guilty to all of the charged offences, including the murder of 2,976 people listed in the charge sheet. The letter also said the men could submit their pleas in open court as early as next week. Bangladesh police on Thursday freed 6 student leaders whose campaigns sparked deadly nationwide unrest as fresh demonstrations resume. The country's deputy commissioner said all 6 quota movement coordinators have been returned to their families Thursday afternoon. Student leader Nahid Islam and 2 others were forcibly discharged from a hospital in Dhaka last Friday and taken to an unknown location. The 3 others were detained in the following days, with the government saying at the time they had been taken into custody for their own safety. Meanwhile, Bangladesh announced it is set to ban the main Islamic party and its student wing on Wednesday, which Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina blames for the violent protests that killed at least 150 people. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike is being sued by its shareholders after their faulty software update crashed more than 8 million computers and caused chaos around the world. The suit, filed in the Texas federal court on Wednesday, alleges that CrowdStrike executives defrauded investors by making them believe the company's software updates were adequately tested. It also said the company's share price dropped 32% in the 12 days after the incident, causing a loss in market value of $25 billion. The lawsuit is seeking an unspecified amount of compensation for investors who owned the firm's shares between November 29 and July 29 of this year. CrowdStrike, however, denies the allegations and said it will defend itself against the proposed class action lawsuit. Zahir reaches quarterfinals after beating French wildcard. Action from the 2024 Paris Olympics after this breather.
Diving deep into the business world.
with expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
On TV3 and stream on Tonton.
I Can See Your Voice Malaysia musim ke-7.
Aku nak selamatkan anak daripada orang tua gatal ni.
Penuh ekspresi.
Aku tombok muka kau. Kau betulkan nyanyian kau dulu.
Yang ni susah lah. Dua-dua pun macam ngam lah.
Iya ke? Macam try hard sangat.
Penuh kesangsian. Tonton Ahad ini 9 malam di TV3.
Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Sports now, the 2024 Paris Olympics. National men's singles shuttler Lee Zijia kept his dreams of winning an Olympic medal alive by defeating home favourite Toma Junior Popov in their round of 16 clash on Thursday. The former All-England champion took the first set 21-13 before edging out Popov in a nervy second set by 24-22 to march into the quarter-finals. The 26-year-old will next take on world number 3 Anders Antonsen of Denmark on Friday. Earlier, national men's doubles pair Aaron Chia Soy Woo Yik booked their place in the semi-finals following a comeback victory against Indian world number 3 pair Satwik Sairaj Khan Kiredi Chirag Shetty in their last 8 clash. Aaron and Woo Yik, who won bronze at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, went down 13-21 in the first set before staging a comeback to win the remaining 2 sets 21-14, 21-16 respectively. The world number 7 pair will now take on China's top seed Liang Weikeng, Wang Cheng for spots in the final on Friday. In another event, Perlitan M. Tina created history by being the first Malaysian women's doubles pair to reach the semi-finals. The world number 12 duo delivered a stunning performance, upsetting South Korea's Kim So-young, Kong Hee-young 21-12, 21-13 in the quarterfinals after 42 minutes. Pearly Tina will face an uphill task as they will meet 4-time world champions Cheng Hui-chen, Jia Yifan of China in the semi-finals on Friday. In other Olympics action, Japanese gymnast Shinosuke Oka displayed nerves of steel as he fended off a late challenge by China's Zhang Boheng to win the gymnastics artistic men's all-round gold medal. The tense final came down to the last apparatus, the horizontal bar, and 20-year-old Oka maintained his poise under intense pressure to score a winning total of 86.832. Zhang trailed by just 0.233 of a point to take silver, and his fellow countryman Xiao Raoteng claimed bronze. In other actions, reigning champion South Korea left almost no room for suspense in the men's sabre team event, beating Hungary and winning their 3rd consecutive title. Already crowned on Saturday in the individual event, Oh Sang-uk delivered the coup de grace in a 45-41 win against the 2023 world champions. In the swimming event, China's Pang Xianlei of Grams Judo, Lasha Bikauri defended the gold he won in Tokyo by beating Sanshiro Murao of Japan. He became the first Georgian to win gold at this year's Games after an ippon in the last few seconds secured the victory. On to football, the Malaysian Super League. Only one match took place on Thursday night. Penang FC delivered a stellar performance as they notched a 3-0 win over Kelantan Darul Naim FC. The home side took the lead 12 minutes into the game through Rodrigo Diaz before Nick Akif netted the second in the 34th minute. Rafael Victor secured the win for Penang from the spot 15 minutes from time. With the win, Penang moved up to 7th place with 9 points, while Kelantan stuck at the bottom of the league with 3 points. Over 27 million ringgit worth of luxury vehicles seized. This and more when we return.
Wanita hari ini. Ira, perasan tak kita ni selalu suka jaga dan puaskan hati orang lain?
Betul juga tu, apa kata kita sayangi dan jadi diri sendiri.
Terung ada macam-macam jenis tau.
Jom kita masak terung.
Sekarang ni ada banyak kejadian yang tidak diingini berlaku.
Ayo kita persiapkan diri untuk elak tragedi.
Campur tangan orang lain boleh rosakkan hubungan.
Pasti ada cara untuk elakkannya.
Dalam rumah tangga, kenalah sama-sama memberi dan menerima.
Barulah rumah tangga bahagia.
Semuanya di WHI TV3
dan stream sekarang ditonton.
Wanita hari ini.
Menarik sepanjang minggu.
Kes orang hilang semakin membimbangkan. Apakah langkah perlu kita lakukan?
Adakah HIV masih menjadi ancaman kepada masyarakat?
Buli cyber, apakah kesannya terhadap mangsa?
Minyak masih terpakai, inisiatif yang penting untuk menjaga ekosistem.
Soal wang membincangkan kos pengurusan jenazah.
MHI setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat 9.30 pagi eksklusif di TV3.
Juga stream melalui tonton.
Ketika kasih sayang diuji, cukup kuatkah ikatan mereka untuk bertahan?
Kau ni kan memang tak boleh harap langsung tau. Macam mana aku boleh kahwin dengan kau?
Hanya atas kertas.
Akak nak kita janji yang kita takkan buat ayah sedih lagi.
Aku dan adik.
Jangan lukakan hati.
Bintang Hati Umi.
Kalau Papa kerja, rasa untuk Papa berdakwah, kita ganggu.
Auta.
Buat bendera baru untuk Abang.
Selimut Merdeka. Slot wayang setiap Jumaat 1 hari di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui tonton.
Welcome back. The Customs Department seized 231 luxury vehicles, including electric vehicles, worth 27.4 million ringgit, including unpaid tax during 2 separate operations in Port Klang, Selangor last Thursday and Saturday. Its Central Zone Assistant Director General Nolela Ismail said that the vehicles were brought into the country without import permits and believed to be intended for the Malaysian market. In the first operation on June 25th, a team from the department detained 67 containers containing 200 vehicles worth about 22.66 million ringgit in the North Port Free Zone.
Hasil pemeriksaan yang dijalankan, pasukan telah menemukan sebanyak 200 buah kenderaan elektrik EV yang tidak mempunyai permit import. Nilai dagangan dianggarkan berjumlah 20.6 juta ringgit dan duti serta cukai yang terlibat adalah dianggarkan sebanyak 2.06 juta ringgit.
2 days later, the department detained 17 other containers containing 31 vehicles estimated to be worth 4.79 million ringgit, including unpaid tax at the same location. Among the vehicles seized were Toyota Alphard, Mini Cooper and Chery Omoda cars. Preliminary investigations revealed that the containers originated from a country in East Asia. So far, authorities have recorded statements of several individuals. The case is being investigated under the Customs Act for importing prohibited goods. In Sabah, 3 people died when a fire broke out at a house in Pitas early Thursday morning. The 2 a.m. incident at Kampong Block 5 also injured 3 others. The 3 deceased were identified as Abdul Malik Mat Tassin in his 50s, his daughter, 11-year-old Noor Adriana Kistina, and a relative, Saleh Onding, in his 60s. The injured victims, believed to be Malik's daughters, Noor Ika Afmalima and Noor Ratikia, as well as another relative, Afna Tundan, were taken to the Pitas hospital by members of the public. A spokesperson from the State Fire and Rescue Department Operations Centre said a distress call was received at 2:19 a.m. and 9 firefighters from the Kota Marudu fire station rushed to the scene, which was approximately 65 kilometers away. The fire was brought under control at 3:25 10:45 a.m. However, the house and 2 vehicles were completely destroyed. The bodies of the deceased were handed over to the police for further action. Investigations into the cause of the fire is still ongoing. In Pahang, the driver of the tour bus that crashed in Rompin 2 months ago, resulting in 4 deaths, pleaded not guilty to reckless driving in the Rompin Magistrates Court on Thursday. 50-year-old Zamri Pon made the plea before Magistrate Melody Woon Sermoon. The accused was charged with committing the act at Jalan Kuantan Segamat in Rompin at about 12:30 a.m. on June 9. He faces imprisonment for up to 10 years and a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit if convicted for the offence under the Road Transport Act. The court allowed Zamri bail of 5,000 ringgit with one surety and fixed August 16 for case mentioned. In the incident, the tour bus with 39 people on board overturned on a road slide slope after losing control and colliding with the trailer. 35 passengers, mostly teachers from SK Jeram in Masjid Tanah Melaka, and their children sustained injuries, while 4 people were killed, including the second driver of the bus. As Nightline draws to a close, this time around, let's take a look as tourists enjoyed Paris's beloved monuments during the Olympic Games on the River Seine aboard a Lego-themed boat. With that, I'm Zahir, Kelvin and Abdullah. Thank you for tuning in and be safe.